Tuesday again. It's a 7 whole days since I saw you last night. Let's tip this down a bit. But at least yesterday it was pouring with rain, and I looked out and thought, oh my goodness, this is the day I'm going to be sitting in the rain and freezing with my umbrella, and you're going to be laughing at me. But it's not. It's cold, but a reasonable day. So, how's your week been? That's a question. How's your week been? Do comment below and tell me how your week's been, because I really want to know. This is all about me telling you about mine, but I want to know about yours. So my week has been much the same, of course. We're coming out of lockdown tomorrow, I think, but that's not going to make a lot of difference because the country's been put into different tiers. Look, I'm not one for criticising what governments are doing at the minute because it's new territory for everyone, but this does seem a bit crazy. Let me give you an example of what is written. Whoops, I've just dropped something I want to show you. Hang on. Okay, got it back. So let me give you an example. You can go just your household. You can't go with anybody outside your household and eat out. Now that sounds reasonably good, except built into the rules are this. The minute you finish eating your food, you have to get up and leave. You cannot still be drinking something. So if you have some Coke, you've got to make sure you finish that Coke before your last bite of the meal. Otherwise, you have to finish that bite of the meal, leave the restaurant, and leave your rest of your Coke sitting there. What? I mean, if anybody can make sense of that as to how it's going to help the spread of corona, COVID, just tell me, because you might have to replay that to believe I said what I said. I'm going to say it again. You can go out, just your household. You can sit in a restaurant or an eating place. You can stay there as long as you're eating the food. But if you have any drink left over at the end, you've got to leave and you can't drink it because your food's finished. Okay, I've got quite a creative brain. I can usually think around things, but that one has me thrown. And so it's full of things like that. I mean, like, you can be in a small town and there be no cases. But if you are next to a city that has got a lot, you are locked down with that city. Right. Well, we're in what's called level 2, tier 2, which means one of the things is we cannot have anybody else in our home or in our garden. And if we're outside walking around, we can't be walking in more than groups of 6. Well, okay, I'll go with the groups of 6. But that means nobody can come and visit us. We can't visit anybody else. They can't come into our garden. So it's virtual isolation. I mean, it's kind of locked down with a bit of a different twist to it. So that's what happens from tomorrow, I think, if the government get it through. So that's where we're at. I know the inside of this house very, very well. I know it really well. I've been there since March. So I think I said last time, we've been so caught up with the Issachar Network and getting that launched and conferences and things we've been doing, so crazy busy, haven't really had time to stop and think about not travelling. What I've had time to stop and think about is how much I miss my friends and people out in the nations. And if the truth are told, I've got more friends in other nations than we have here. And I am just desperate to come and see you, desperate to come and see you. So that's without doubt. I keep checking to see which countries we can go to, and I know there's several nations out there saying please come. So we'll see what happens there. Now, these pieces of paper, one that just blew away. We're having so much fun. Listen, you need to do this. So every morning we meet and we just sit around the table and we're going through the Bible chronologically. So we do about 3 chapters a day. We have No concordances, no commentaries, nothing. We just talk about it ourselves. You'd be amazed how much you can discover just by doing that. However, we've done Ezekiel and we've just done Daniel, and it's been so cool because we have gone through, and we've gone through all the nations that these books talk about, and then we've written what their modern day nation is. So we have been able to track what is going on in our world, what is going to be going on in our world in the imminent future. So, for example, it says so that the king of the south and the king of the north, and then it goes on to say Jordan will escape, Egypt will not escape, Libya, which is Morocco to Egypt, will not escape, the Cushites, which are Ethiopia and Northeast Africa, will not escape. Now, that's just a little example, but if you go through those books and every time it says a biblical nation, make a note of the modern day nation, and you will see things playing out in a crazy way, especially when you look at the Abrahamic Accord. And we did an amazing podcast about that with a friend of ours, Catherine van der Beek. So it's all happening under your noses. The question is, can you see what's going on? I mean, are you noticing what's going on? Because the time is coming shortly where you'll suddenly go, oh my goodness, and don't want you taken by surprise. Again, that's what the Issachar Network is about. If you want to know about it, I'll put the link again. But do something like this because you will see it unfolding. Now, I remember when my older two girls were children, sitting down at the table and talking about the Jews leaving Sweden and those northern countries and returning to Israel. And I said to them, you are seeing prophecy fulfilled right now under your eyes. Look, there's the newspaper, there it is in the Bible. Well, don't miss it because you are seeing prophecy fulfilled right now, every day. Now, you can't really look at the newspapers, I don't think. I mean, I don't trust the news at all. There are certain people I trust, and I go to those sites and to those people to hear what's really going on, find them. But if you don't find them and you don't know your Bible, you're going to miss what is happening. That God prophesied thousands upon thousands of years ago, and it's happening right now. So go search it out. If you want any tips on it, message me and I will give you the link to where we're what did I say? The chronological Bible link that we're using. But message me if you want to know more, because it's going on. Even since last week to this week, more things have happened that the Bible prophesied. So they're exciting days for us to all sit up, wake up, and so you can think of us in our nation not being able to finish our drinks in the restrooms. I mean, I haven't read the rest of it. We shall see if that passes Parliament, but that did make me smile and raise my eyebrows. So, wish you could come and join us in here, because we're ready for some company. We're ready to come and visit you and to have a coffee and to do a proper catch-up. So, happy Tuesday, because it's now getting quite cold. Oh, happy Tuesday from me, and can you see my friend in the window? There he is. Let me show you. Ooh, nearly dropped him. My dear dog friend, complete with his hat. There you go. I'm ready for Christmas. So much love from me to you. Remember, you are so loved. If you're listening to me, know that you're loved, and I'll see you next Tuesday in the garden. Oh, by the way, if you've watched this, please go on the link and subscribe and hit the notification bell and like the YouTube channel. Then you get notified every Tuesday, and I'm going to be putting up other videos. So, see you next week or before. Bye.